Virgo, let's not sugarcoat it. They tried to erase you, blocked your number, muted your name, pretended you were just a phase. But guess what? You live in their head rent-free. And no matter who they touch, it still feels like a ghost is in the room. Your ghost. They thought they could move on. They thought time would silence the memory of you. But time did the opposite. It exposed how unforgettable you are. Because if you felt any of that, this reading isn't just for you. It's about you. Spirit wants you to know this connection. It's not over. It was never truly gone. You didn't imagine the intensity. You weren't the only one affected. In fact, someone out there tried to forget you. They really did. They told themselves they were done, moved on, convinced everyone around them that they were fine. But here's the truth. They don't say out loud they can't. You've been living rent-free in their mind. Quiet moments hit the hardest driving alone, folding laundry, walking through a store and hearing your favorite song. They thought they could pack those memories into a box and bury it. But the box won't stay shut. Something keeps cracking it open. And you've been strong. You've picked up the pieces. You've done the inner work. You've learned to live with the ache. But still, something feels off lately, right? Like the air around you is buzzing a little louder. Like signs are showing up more often, maybe the number 222 dreams that feel too real, or conversations that seem to circle back to that person. If you've been seeing 222 lately, comment 222. You're not imagining it. That's not coincidence. That's alignment. The universe has a way of looping us back into connections that need closure, healing, or sometimes another chance. But this time, Virgo, it's different. You're not the same version of yourself. You're wiser. You're more grounded. You're no longer chasing validation. You're choosing alignment over attachment. So let's explore what's really happening here. Why this person can't shake your energy, what they're hiding, and whether spirit is bringing them back into your life for healing or closure. Because no matter what their story is, your story is what matters most. And by the end of this message, you'll see things a lot more clearly about them and about yourself. Let's begin. And maybe right now, you're asking yourself, why does this matter? It matters because every soul contract we carry has the power to teach us something deep. Sometimes the lesson is in letting go. Sometimes it's in giving love a second chance. And sometimes it's in choosing ourselves for the very first time. This story, your story, is about recognizing what energy deserves to return and what needs to stay in the past. Because clarity is freedom, and this clarity is exactly what's arriving for you now. All right, Virgo, now that we've set the energy, let's dig into what they're not telling you. Because trust me, there's more beneath the surface than you realize. You see, this person, whoever they are, they've been carrying something, a secret. Maybe not a scandalous one, but something that weighs heavily on their spirit. And it's about you. They've been watching your growth, quietly, from a distance, maybe through social media, maybe through mutual friends, or maybe they just replay memories in their head like a favorite movie they can't stop watching. But here's what's wild. They're not just watching you glow up, they're also watching you outgrow them. And that scares them more than they'll ever admit. The truth is, they thought you'd still be there, emotionally, energetically, even if not physically. They didn't expect you to evolve, to rise, to start seeing your own worth so clearly. And now they're realizing they might have lost something rare, someone irreplaceable. You, this is where it gets real. The energy I'm picking up is Seven of Swords strategy, secrecy, someone moving in the shadows. It doesn't mean they're a villain, but it does mean they haven't been honest with themselves, with others, or with you. They're pretending they're fine, acting like life's great, but inside it's messy. There's guilt here, regret, and confusion. For some of you, this might have involved a third party, someone who came in when things were uncertain. Maybe this person chose comfort over connection, safety over soul, or maybe they ghosted you without explanation, because facing you meant facing everything they weren't ready to deal with. But guess what? The Empress energy is showing up around you. That's not just beauty or abundance. That's divine feminine power. You've become someone who radiates self-worth, grace, and peace. And now, they don't know how to approach that. They feel small in your presence, not because you made them feel that way, but because they know they didn't rise with you. They're hiding how much they still care, how much they wonder what you're up to. They've thought about reaching out, typing the message, hovering over the send button, but fear holds them back. Pride whispers lies like maybe you've moved on, maybe you hate them, maybe it's too late. But here's the twist. What they don't realize is that part of you is still healing too. You haven't forgotten. You're just learning to love yourself more than the silence they left you in. Spirit is showing me the Two of Cups hovering near this energy. That tells me there's still potential here, but only if truth steps in. Only if both people are ready to be real. Because what's been hidden, it's not just their feelings. It's their wounds, their fears, their shadow. And sometimes, love isn't about fairy tales. It's about two people doing the hard work, unpacking the baggage, facing their truths, and choosing to show up anyway. This connection has that possibility, but it starts with honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to grow. Let's keep going and see if they're finally ready to bring the truth into the light. You know, Virgo, a lot of people think healing is about forgetting, but it's really about remembering without breaking. It's about seeing the truth for what it is and still choosing peace. Maybe this person has been part of your karmic lesson. Maybe they were here to teach you how to stop abandoning yourself for the sake of love. And now, the universe is giving both of you a mirror, one that doesn't lie, one that says, this is who you are now, do you like what you see? Because transformation isn't just about moving forward, it's about seeing clearly why you can't go backward. Now, Virgo, let's take a moment to shift the focus back to you. Because while this connection has its own story, your healing journey, that's the real transformation happening here, and it deserves to be honored. You've been through it. The late nights questioning your worth, wondering if you weren't enough, or if you did something wrong. You've gone over conversations in your head, trying to find the moment it all changed. But here's the truth. What changed wasn't you losing something. It was you beginning to wake up to your own value. You see, healing isn't about pretending it never hurt. It's about facing the hurt, feeling it fully, and deciding that it doesn't get to define you. And Virgo, that's exactly what you've been doing. Quietly, steadily, even when no one clapped for you, even when it felt like progress was invisible, you were still rising. This energy around you is strong. Spirit keeps showing me the Empress again. That's you, nurturing, grounded, powerful. You've started choosing yourself in ways that feel foreign but freeing. Maybe you're finally setting boundaries. Maybe you're saying no when you used to say yes just to keep the peace. Or maybe you're looking in the mirror and actually seeing someone beautiful staring back. That's not a small thing. That's revolutionary. And here's something you probably don't give yourself enough credit for: the way you kept going. You didn't let heartbreak turn you bitter. You didn't let disappointment harden you. Instead, you chose softness. You chose reflection. You chose growth. Someone out there needs to hear this. Send this video to a Virgo you care about. That takes strength, not the loud kind, but the kind that rebuilds your soul brick by brick. Maybe you've picked up journaling. Maybe you've started meditating, working out, eating better, praying more, laughing again. Those aren't just habits, they're signs. Signs that your spirit is remembering who you are underneath all the pain. And the universe has noticed. Now, that doesn't mean healing is done. Healing isn't a finish line. It's a lifelong relationship with yourself. If you're somewhere in the middle of healing, type still healing. So spirit knows where to meet you. Some days you'll feel 10 feet tall. Other days, that old ache might creep back in. And that's okay. Because now you know how to hold space for your own heart. You know how to comfort yourself instead of chasing comfort from someone who can't give it. You're creating emotional safety within your own soul. And when that happens, you stop settling. You stop chasing breadcrumbs and start demanding the whole table. You start recognizing what peace feels like, and you protect it. So, if you've been wondering why the past is resurfacing right now, it's because you've reached a level of healing where you can see it with clear eyes. No more rose-colored lenses. No more illusions. Just truth. And with that truth comes power. The power to choose differently, to love differently, to receive differently. You're not here to repeat the same cycle. You're here to break it, to rise above it, to write a new story that honors who you've become. And Virgo, that story, it's just getting started. Let's move forward and see what's next for you, because the next chapter is yours to write. Even in the silence, your growth was speaking loudly. People may not have seen your struggle, but the universe did. Every time you chose to forgive without receiving an apology, every time you held space for others while barely holding yourself together, that counted. And now, it's your turn. Your turn to receive the love you've always poured into others. Your turn to be chosen, not chased. Your turn to thrive. All right, Virgo. Let's talk about something your intuition has probably already picked up on. They're still watching you. Yup. Even if they haven't liked a single post. Even if they unfollowed you. Even if they've gone radio silent. Trust me. They haven't stopped paying attention. It's subtle. Maybe it's late night scrolls through your page. Maybe it's asking mutual friends how you're doing without making it obvious. Or maybe it's just energetically you know that feeling when someone's thinking about you hard, and your chest gets tight for no reason that's real. That's connection. They might act unbothered. They might post photos looking happy, busy, or even like they've moved on. But deep down they're keeping tabs. Because your glow up didn't go unnoticed. Your peace, your light, your strength, it's magnetic. And the more they see you rising, the more they realize what they lost. This isn't about ego. It's about realization. Sometimes people don't see what they had until they can't reach it anymore. And now that you're standing in your power, it's like they're seeing you clearly for the first time. The mystery that used to confuse them, it now intrigues them. The strength they once misunderstood, they now admire it. Spirit is showing me the Page of Swords energy. That's the watcher, the observer, someone who's curious but hesitant, someone gathering information but afraid to act on it. That's your person. They're watching from the sidelines, unsure of their place in your life now. They're wondering if the door is still cracked open or if they've already missed their chance. Let me be real with you, Virgo. They're not just watching out of nostalgia. They're watching because they're not sure how to approach you. They know you're different now. You're not the same person they left, or hurt, or distanced themselves from. And that's intimidating. Your growth makes them question their own. Your peace makes their chaos louder. In some cases, they're also dealing with regret. Maybe they chose someone else. Maybe they chose themselves. Maybe they ghosted because they weren't ready to meet someone like you. But now that they've seen what life looks like without your energy, there's a void they can't fill, and yet they're stuck in fear. Fear that they'll be rejected, fear that you've already closed the door, fear that too much time has passed. So they watch, they wait, they imagine conversations in their head, they rehearse texts they never send. But here's where it gets interesting. Sometimes your silence speaks louder than any words. The fact that you haven't chased them, haven't begged, haven't broken down online, it confuses them because they expected you to fall apart. Instead, you rose, and that Virgo is what's making them look twice. They may come forward, or they may stay silent, hoping the universe somehow brings you back into their orbit. Either way, what you need to know is this: your presence is powerful. Your energy lingers. You left an imprint. Let's keep moving and see what Spirit reveals about their next move, because this energy, it's building towards something. You deserve to know that this isn't just about them missing you. It's about them realizing who they were when they had you and who they failed to become. Sometimes people look back not because they want to return, but because they want to remember a time when they felt seen, accepted, and loved. And Virgo, you gave them that. You gave deeply, fully, with your whole heart. Now the question becomes, what will they do with that realization? And more importantly, what will you do with yours? Now, Virgo, buckle up, because we're entering the twist. This is the part where energy shifts, where the karmic wheel turns, and where what's been hidden starts to surface in unexpected ways. This is not just about someone watching you from a distance anymore. It's about what happens when their silence gets louder than their pride, and the universe starts pushing them to face what they've been avoiding. Here's what I'm seeing. This person has been hit with a tower moment. That's the kind of life event that shakes everything loose. It could be a breakup, a financial loss, a betrayal from someone they trusted, or even a deep emotional breakdown that hits them out of nowhere. And the wild part, it's not punishment, it's redirection. Spirit has a way of creating the exact conditions needed for people to wake up. And this person, they've been sleeping on their growth, avoiding their healing, and clinging to comfort. But now the rug is being pulled out from under them, and they're being forced to look at the emotional mess they tried to sweep under the bed. You, Virgo, were their mirror, and they didn't like what they saw because it showed them everything they weren't ready to face: insecurities, unhealed wounds, patterns they refused to break. So instead of doing the work, they ran. But the universe doesn't let soul contracts slide, not when the lesson is still unfinished. This karmic twist, it's showing up now because you've elevated, you've healed enough to see things clearly, and they're being called to match your frequency or lose the connection completely. That's the deal. The universe is giving them a shot, but it's not a free pass. It's a spiritual assignment. What's happening behind the scenes is bigger than just you and them. It's ancestral. It's emotional DNA. It's cycles that have been repeating for generations, finally getting a chance to break. And whether they understand it consciously or not, their soul knows this is their moment. Rise or retreat. Some of them are experiencing intense dreams, nightmares, flashbacks. That's spirit knocking louder. Others are having synchronicities they can't explain, seeing your name, hearing songs tied to you, waking up in a cold sweat after dreaming of your last conversation. That's not coincidence. That's a karmic alarm clock. But let's be clear, this twist isn't about you waiting around. It's about you being so aligned that anything not rooted in truth can't reach you. You're not chasing. You're not pleading. You're standing in your power. And that's why this energy is pulling so hard. The question now is, what will they do with the wake-up call? Will they step into healing? Or will they let fear win again? Because karmic loops don't just end, they repeat until someone chooses differently. And you, Virgo, you've already chosen differently. You broke the pattern by choosing yourself. That's why the twist is happening now. Because the story's next chapter isn't about pain. It's about reckoning. It's about truth. And maybe, just maybe, redemption. Let's take a look at how the energy unfolds next. Because something big is coming and you'll want to be ready. Sometimes the most painful endings are the ones that clear the way for miracles. And this could be one of those moments. Whether it's a reunion, a heartfelt apology, or simply closure that brings peace, you are being positioned for a breakthrough. You've done the work, Virgo. Now let the universe do the rest. So here you are, Virgo, standing at a crossroads. After all the healing, all the waiting, all the wondering, the universe is placing something big in front of you. Maybe it's this person returning. Maybe it's a new love on the horizon. Maybe it's just clarity that feels like closure. But whatever it is, it's asking you to make a choice. You can look back. You can open the door again. You can hear them out. See what they've learned. Feel if their energy truly aligns this time. And maybe you'll realize that the love never really died. It just needed space to grow up. If that's the case, and you feel peace in giving it another shot, that's your right. Real love, when both people are ready, can transform everything. But maybe you'll look at them and feel nothing. Not anger, not longing, just a quiet sense of peace. Like your soul finally exhaled. Have you ever forgiven someone without getting an apology? Type peace wins. If you've chosen peace over closure. And in that moment, you might realize the purpose of that connection was never forever. It was to remind you of what you deserve. That's the power you hold now. You get to choose not from desperation, not from fear, but from truth, from clarity, from a healed place. And that kind of decision-making, it shifts timelines. Sometimes we think closure has to come from a conversation, a text, or an apology. But closure, real closure, comes when you decide it's done. Not with hate, not with blame, but with love for yourself, for your growth, for the journey. You've done the work. You've peeled back the layers. You've stopped romanticizing pain and started recognizing your worth. And now, Virgo, the universe is matching that energy. That's why someone new may appear. Someone calm, someone clear, someone who doesn't trigger your wounds but helps you soothe them. This is the divine partner energy that's been circling you, a connection that feels safe, steady, and true. And here's the thing. Both options can exist at the same time. The past returning and the future arriving. The test is in how you respond. Do you go backward to something familiar but broken? Or do you step into something unknown but promising? This isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest. Ask yourself, which version of me does this relationship support? The old me who tolerated chaos, or the new me who's finally learned to choose peace? If they've truly changed, if their return comes with humility and accountability, you'll feel it. You won't have to guess. You won't have to chase. But if their presence brings more confusion than clarity, then maybe their role in your story is over, and that's okay too. Remember, Virgo, love should never cost you your peace. The right person will add to your life, not drain it. The right person will make the healing feel worth it, not make you question if it ever happened at all. So take your time, feel it all. Listen to your intuition. Because this choice, it's not just about romance. It's about alignment. It's about who you are now and who you're becoming next. Let's move into the final message from Spirit, because what's ahead might just surprise you in the best way. And if you ever doubt yourself, come back to this truth. You didn't come this far to settle. You came to rise. Every tear, every pause, every moment of solitude brought you here to this powerful point of choice. Trust yourself. You're not just choosing a partner, you're choosing your future. Virgo, before we wrap this up, take a deep breath. Seriously. Inhale everything you've just uncovered about them, about yourself, about this wild, winding journey you've been on. And as you exhale, let go of the weight that was never meant to be yours in the first place. You've come so far. You've gone from confusion to clarity, from pain to purpose, from hoping they'd choose you to finally choosing yourself. That's not just growth. That's transformation. And Spirit wants to remind you of something right now. Everything you've endured wasn't just random. It was sacred preparation. You were being shaped, refined, and realigned not for a mediocre love, but for a love that's sacred, a love that sees you, holds you, chooses you in the quiet moments and in the chaos. Whether that's someone from your past returning with real growth, or someone entirely new who shows up in divine timing, you're ready for it now. You've earned it. And while it's tempting to stay stuck in the what ifs, what if they never come back? What if it never makes sense? What if I end up alone? Those thoughts are just fear in disguise. The truth is, you're not waiting. You're aligning. You're not stuck. You're building. You're not behind. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Every step you've taken has been guided. Every heartbreak taught you something. Every delay protected you from something you couldn't see at the time. That's divine timing. That's protection in disguise. So here's what's ahead. Virgo clarity, peace, forward movement, and yes, love the kind that matches your frequency, your integrity, your growth. The kind of love that doesn't just say the right things but shows up consistently, with presence, patience, and truth. You didn't lose them. You found yourself, and now you're being magnetized towards someone who speaks the same soul language. If you felt like something big was coming, this is it. The final nudge, the full circle moment, the cosmic green light. Virgo, listen to me closely. This is not just about them anymore. This is about the version of you that cried in silence while pretending to be strong in daylight. The version of you that gave more than you had, hoping anyone would choose you back. And even when they didn't, you still chose love. You still chose hope. You still chose to believe that there's more waiting for you. And now the universe is responding to that belief. Because what they couldn't give you, life is about to deliver. Not as a reward, but as a reflection. A reflection of how far you've come, of how deeply you've healed, of how worthy you are not someday, but right now. So if your heart is beating faster right now, if your chest feels tight, if tears are building in your eyes but you're not sure why, it's because your soul knows something is coming, something you don't have to chase. And Virgo, this time, love is going to choose you, loudly, clearly, without conditions, just the way you always deserved. Now, if you're curious about the next phase of this connection, what's been holding them back, what they've realized, and whether this is true reconciliation or just another lesson, there's an extended reading waiting for you. In that reading, we'll pull deeper cards, uncover hidden truths, and dive into the energy that hasn't yet been spoken aloud. And if this is where we part ways today, know this: you're already whole, you're already loved, and your story is still unfolding in the most beautiful way. If this resonated with you, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It helps keep this space alive and allows me to continue bringing you clarity, healing, and truth. Share this with another Virgo who might need to hear it. Drop a comment and let me know where you are in this journey. Until next time, stay grounded, stay open, and remember, what's meant for you will never miss you, and what walks away was never meant to stay. You've got this, and Spirit's got you. Let's see what magic comes next. And one more thing. Virgo, thank yourself for showing up, for listening to your heart, for not giving up, even when it was hard, even when it hurt. That kind of resilience is rare. That kind of soul is gold. Don't ever forget it.